I'm going to show you the first match played between Scarlett and Elazer at Intel Extreme Masters PyeongChang 2018 semifinals from Elazer's perspective. Scarlett is on the left and Elazer is on the right side. This is how these two looked like during the tournament. As you can see on their clothes, there's Olympic sign. And PyeongChang, this tournament, it was during or just before Winter Olympics, and it was kind of a part of it. And it's not still an Olympics game. Video gaming is not considered to be an Olympic sport, but it may be, and this is pretty much a big step for StarCraft 2 nonetheless, I personally believe, due to the fact that it did worked out quite nicely that this tournament was just before Olympic Games, and I'm sure more people kind of went there, watched it, and Olympics did mention StarCraft 2 out there somewhere. We can have a look. StarCraft 2 Olympics, and as you can see, esports will be featured in PyeongChang ahead of 2018 Olympics, and that's what I was talking about. StarCraft 2 will be the game of choice at Intel Extreme Masters PyeongChang. Esports will be featured in PyeongChang ahead of 2018 Olympic Games. So it's not exactly Olympics, but it's certainly something, right? And that's that. Now that we know about the tournament, who's gonna play in it, let's have a closer look at the tournament in question. That's IEM Season XII PyeongChang tournament. It's the second event of IEM Season XII, which hosts a StarCraft 2 tournament organized by ESL and held in PyeongChang, South Korea. Coincidence with the 2018 Winter Olympics in the same city and held less than 1 week before the opening ceremony. The event had full support of the International Olympic Committee. So as you can see, it wasn't really Olympics, but they kind of worked out things together, and it's at least a sort of a test thing where Olympics certainly kind of made sense. The game version for this is Legacy of the Wild patch 4.1.4 BU. It's held in South Korea. Well, the server is in South Korea, and the location. It's an offline tournament, so if you wish to participate there, you have to qualify in an offline stage. I guess there are quite a few of these tournaments that end up having qualifiers in an offline stage, so you actually have to invest money, go there, qualify, and only if you win they are going to maybe pay for all the necessities that you have to go there, such as travel, maybe some food stuff, and that's pretty much it. But in any case, it's alright. If you can play really well, you have the time, they're gonna pay for most necessary things, like sleeping quarters and so on. It's Intel Extreme Masters series. Prize pools are 150,000. Here you can take a look at the qualifiers and see how many places were available for each nation. Liquipedia Tire is Premier, and you can take a look at Legacy of the Wild tournaments here. These are 2017 ones, these are 2016 ones, 2015 ones, and we see Heart of the Swarm expansion here, totally different thing entirely. 2014, 2013, Wings of Liberty tournaments, 2011. At any point you can stop the video and have a closer look, Google these tournaments, check them out on YouTube, and that's 2010. As you can see, it was kind of in August, but even then it worked out quite well. In just a few months there were big tournaments, relatively large prize pool, and not bad at all. And currently it's the start of the year for 2018, and we already witness many tournaments right here in front of you, and these are super expensive ones, at least 100,000 a piece. Certainly a lot, no doubts about it. And you can take a look at the caster names. The prize pool, 150,000. For the first place it's 50, second place 25, third, fourth place 12,500. You can take a look at the further layout here. And the participants. Here you can see the results. Elazer against Scarlett, 3-1. And I'm going to show you this match right here. And here is the racial distribution, map statistics. Now that we know about the tournament, let's move on to the players. The first player is Elazer. His name is Mikołaj Ogonowski. He's from Poland. He plays Zerg and represents team Q-Lash. He made over 170,000 playing Starcraft 2, and he dates back to 2013. Here you can take a look at his achievements. 2017 WCS Valencia, first place, $25,000. He won many minor tournaments too, even as minor as $36 payout, new Netwars Christmas Cup. Not bad at all. Never seen anybody win hardware before, I think, but that's certainly a big deal. Premier Team Leagues, Starcraft 2 Improved Team League Season 6. Here you can take a look at VODs, replays, interviews. Here's the gallery. Here's how he looks like. His opponent is Scarlett. Her name is Sasha Hostin. She's a Canadian Zerg player who is currently playing for Team Expert. Since early 2017, she usually plays as Protoss in minor tournaments. She had alternative IDs such as EC Scarlett, Cat, Acer Scarlett, TOS Imba, Ekaterina, Avril Lavigne, Shura. Nicknames: the Queen of Blade, Swarm Zerg, the Queen of PSI Blades. Total earnings $251,000. Her playstyle: Scarlett favors using Zerglings, Banelings and Mutalisks, though she has also displayed proficiency with Investors, Broodlords and Ultralisks. She also was one of the first, if not the first, to use Infested Terrans to bait Widowmine hits against MVP in her GSTL debut. Her playstyle's defining feature, though, is her creep spread, which has been spotlighted and can stretch to opposing bases by the time of a decisive engagement. She dates back to 2012. And you can at any point stop the video and read about her here. Learn about her trivias, achievements, in premier tournaments, major tournaments, minor tournaments, and premier team leagues, championships. Also, you can check out matches, videos, interviews that date back to 2012, at the same time articles, and you can check out her pictures here. An interesting thing to know about Scarlett is that she is a transgender woman, and she said that on an interview. You voluntarily reveal that you're transgender. As a result, you're drawing attention to yourself outside of the game. Does this not bother you? She answers, a little, but it was expected. This kind of reaction would have happened eventually once my situation became known, so I didn't dwell on it. Now, you can read the full interview here by stopping the video. And you may not know what a transgender woman is, and I have a Wikipedia article on it. A trans woman, sometimes known as transgender, let's say, trans woman, is a woman who was assigned male at birth, so she was born as a little boy. The label of transgender, which trans pretty much means in between, right? And gender is pretty much gender. Woman is not always interchangeable with that of transsexual woman. So, a transsexual woman, people experience a gender identity that is inconsistent with or not culturally associated with their assigned sex, and desire to permanently transition to the gender with which they identify, usually seeking medical assistance, including hormone replacement therapy and other sex reassignment therapies, to help them align their body with their identified sex or gender. Transsexual is generally considered a subset of transgender, but some transsexual people reject the label of transgender. A medical diagnosis of gender dysphoria can be made if a person expresses a desire to live and can be accepted as a member of their identified sex, and if a person experiences impaired functioning or distress as a result of their gender identity. So, transgender woman is not always interchangeable with that of transsexual woman, although two labels are often used in this manner. Transgender is an umbrella term that includes different types of gender variant people, including transsexual people, and that's pretty much it. If you haven't noticed or didn't know, I think it's important to know that she was a man. Besides that, if she is certainly not a man, it's for you to decide, because they will refer to Scarlett as she, which may not certainly 100% represent that it's a woman thinking while playing StarCraft 2. It could be a man that wants to be a woman. However, I'm not sure myself about this. I'm not blaming anybody, and you decide yourself if Scarlett is a man or a woman. Now, let's move on to the game. First of all, we're gonna look at Elazer's perspective, match number 1. First of all, he starts by queuing up his, hotkeying his locations. In here, we are gonna soon find out the build order. Now, as you can see here, many overlords have been sent out. Well, many, all of them, both do. And these can be kind of caught off by, let's say, corruptors, or in turn case Vikings. So I'm not, for example, myself advising this, because I've seen in these games where, for example, a Viking kills off many overlords that are spread out over a map, and these kind of give a vision to people. It looks like he opens up a quick second hatchery here. In fact, 3 hatcheries it looks like it's gonna go for. And he's not expecting to face early circling attack. And obviously that is a little bit risky from this opponent. Scarlett could as well just simply work things out herself very quickly by simply sending Zerglings on. But we'll find out how this is gonna go. Also, 3 units are in the gas geyser. And we see a very super economy start. I'm sure that for a Zerg there is no more a more economy focused play does not exist than this one. He opened 3 hatcheries before he opened the spawning pool, which is pretty harsh, no doubts about it. Let's take a look at the worker counts here, and we see 27 versus 27. Let's look on at the units here, and we'll see that Scarlett has 2 queens, 3 overlords and 26 workers, while Elazer has no queens whatsoever. And none of these are building any Zerglings early on. And it seems that both of them have opened up with 3 bases, which is certainly a big deal. It's quite slow, again, they're keeping up precise, nearly precise number of drones. Very interesting. It looks like the first banelings are going to be born from both sides. What can I say? It looks like both players have chosen to play an exact same build. And that's the thing here. Now, the first fights have begun. It looks like Elazer got really good hit on opponents' Zerglings. Furthermore, destroyed additional banelings from Scarlett's side. Now here, Elazer did not move his workers and suffered dearly for it. In any case, Elazer decided that he didn't want to lose his links, so he retreated them. He may have lost his links due to Scarlett's baneling attacks. Now they are not going to engage each other, but the ones who are going to launch the banelings in are going to prevail here. And Elazer is just trying to snipe the banelings with his Zerglings. What else we have here? Elazer is transitioning into roaches, and he's pretty much playing roach Baneling Zergling play, with queens being a defensive unit. He's further moving troops around. And things are really intensive. It's a massive Zergling off here, and Scarlett just got into a laser space, and it looks like that's all over. A laser without his drones is not going to achieve much here, and it looks like too much damage has been done. A laser got stuck in Scarlett's base. He has a very powerful force here with the roaches, but it looks like Scarlett has a powerful force too, and Elazer didn't got his troops together before the offensive, and due to that he wasn't fighting effectively, while Scarlett always had his troops together, and that just simply was too much for Elazer's attacking force, even if he had better advantage here, if all of his forces would have stacked up. In any case, it's 0-1. Scarlett is moving ahead.